Praise be to Jesus Christ. My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, we are on the third Sunday of Advent. The gospel text of today speaks about a very concrete experience that we go through as believers. John the Baptist, who was born to be the forerunner of Jesus, the one who prepares the way for the coming of Jesus the Messiah, finds himself in a very complex situation. John had already left the desert where he had lived a very hard life, showing a very high level of discipline, commitment, and devotion. Now he is again in prison, possibly awaiting an execution because of confronting an earthly authority. That is because of confronting King Herod over the unlawful marriage of his brother's wife. In this confrontation, together with these other preachings, calling people to conversion, we see in John a very firm preacher. However, today, if we try to feel with John the Baptist, who is currently in prison, and again, if we try to feel with him through the message or the question he sends to Jesus through his disciples, asking if Jesus was the one who is to come, or the Messiah, or are we going to look for another one? Then we can understand that all was not completely well. All was not as clear as we often want to make it look. John the Baptist is struggling to understand something about Jesus and his kingdom. Towards the end of his life, he wonders whether the Messiah whom he expected is really Jesus because he did not seem to be taking over. He did not seem to be inserting himself in establishing the new kingdom. He did not seem to be restoring the kingdom of Israel, and especially in the manner in which the people expected. Evil was still thriving, and John the Baptist himself was already imprisoned and suffering as a victim of the same evil. Jesus seemed to be performing much lower when it comes to meeting the expected performance of a Messiah. When he sends his disciples to Jesus, the answer that Jesus gives is simple and to the point. He tells them, "Go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the poor have the good news brought to them, and blessed is the one who takes no offense at Jesus." His mission is not to overthrow the present kingdom of Israel. His mission is to be fulfilled in a different way from that of the common expectation of many of the people, including John the Baptist himself. Jesus is already fulfilling the scriptures. He is already fulfilling the expectations of the people, but in a new way. This already calls John to peace and to hope, knowing that his sacrifice and devotion was not for nothing. He can now accept to die in peace. My dear brothers and sisters, many are the times when we have spoken boldly about Jesus. But there are times when hope begins to shake and crumble. There are times when we fall into the temptation of feeling defeated. There are times when our expectations are not fulfilled, something that leaves us with a lot of doubts. Sometimes we ask, is it true that He is really there, watching over me, caring over me? At such moments, Jesus invites us to stop ourselves a little bit and to try to look around and to hear from those close to us. It's a moment for us to learn to change our gaze. It's a time not just to keep on looking at ourselves, but indeed a time to try to look outside. The circumstances of our lives might not change, but our mindset truly changes. Hope is born when we learn to interpret our circumstances anew, now not from our own small and selfish point of view, but from the point of view of God, from the point of view of our Father. And this indeed becomes for us a moment for growth. My dear brothers and sisters, as we celebrate this third Sunday of Advent, usually Gaudete Sunday, a Sunday we are called to rejoice, despite the worries and the burdens of life, we come to realize that this joy that we are called to is not just our own making, but it is a gift of God, a gift that we welcome when we learn to see things or the experiences of our lives with the eyes of God. May God bless you.